Ian, founder of the Wolfpack Group. Now, what I like to teach today is the concept of trading, uh, money for things and services rather than trading your time. The reason why is because our time is always limited, and it's always limited by the pay rate that you've negotiated between your employer. Now, eventually, we want to move away from that. But in the meantime, stay where you are working at the job because that's going to give you the capital to invest in your own team. Now, there's a way to hire people from overseas who are very fluent in English, and because of the dollar exchange rate, or whatever it is, our dollar is worth about 50 bucks in the Philippines. Now, you can also do India too, but I prefer the Philippines because of the accent isn't so strong, and I can kind of understand and talk to them better. And it's really how well you keep your standards. Now, there are a few out there that in the Philippines that you can hire, but their English isn't that great, and you're gonna get that level of service. I mean, think about your children. If you train them well, and you teach them, you don't you let them, get by with certain things, then you're gonna have a really well-rounded family. Now, if you let your kids run astray, do whatever they want, don't show up on time, make excuses, then it's gonna affect uh, your production. Okay. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna give you a series of videos that I've kind of recorded way back when on using online jobs.ph, which is a directory site where you can find people and post up your job description and then hire people from there. Now, with that, work as a community because there's a monthly fee in order to get into that service. And I think I normally would go for the 3 month, but because I end up using it quite often. But what you could probably do is pair up with people in the Wolfpack group and share in on that subscription. If anything, you probably just need one account, and as soon as you get one person, that one designer actually can be enough to create designs for many people. Then you could probably be the guy to work with the rest of the team and say, hey, I got my designer, at X amount. But I only need 2 shirts a day because that's all my merch account allows me to do. And I'll show you more avenues on how to expand on that if you wanted to in other videos, so that you can put more designs up on Amazon. You can go into mugs and necklaces, pillowcases, whatever. Okay. So, but let's say you just want to start merch and just kind of go with that. Just kind of start out, get your feet wet, but you have a designer. You can work with the Wolfpack group and say, hey, you know what? Does anyone else need designs? Well, my guy takes about an hour. I pay him $3. I can charge $10 per shirt or $7 per shirt, whatever, double the amount that your cost for your effort in hiring them. And in a sense, you now have a staffing company. So people will then say, hey, I could use 2 shirts. Here's 14 bucks or 20 bucks, and then my your designer will create those 2 shirts and email them, so they don't have to pay the online job subscription in order to find someone, and the interviewing process and all that stuff takes time too, which is in a sense, that designer is your asset that you can then sell over and over. Now you're selling services instead of selling your time. So you're selling your designer services in the Wolfpack group so that they can upload designs into their merch account. So they bought now a thing, right, that they can sell over and over, or invest into a design asset, a digital asset that will sell over and over on merch account. So it's just changing the way how we see things, moving away from your time for money. So anything that you do, always focus on building some kind of asset. If I put my time and energy into this, does it stay? Does it stick around? Okay. Now your designer does. He's gonna stick around as long as you pay him, as long as you can find new customers to hire him. Okay. Yeah, he'll stick around, and that's your asset. If you've invested in a design that always sell on Amazon, that's also an asset that keeps selling over and over and over, to a point where it compounds and builds up over time. Then you start to make, I'd say, shoot, make a goal of 1,000 a month. What would an extra 1,000 a month do for your life and for your family? Then from that point, you'll have 1,000 a month to invest in more designs and have that compound each and every month to maybe making $800 a day, $1,000 a day. From $1,000 a month to $1,000 a day would be pretty amazing, right? So if you can do it one time, you can then do it multiple times and multiply that income. And then we'll look into other assets on other avenues where you have more control, where you can invest in advertising and get a return on that based on the products that you've created and whatnot. So that way you can build a foundation where then you could be with your family, be with your kids, do the things that you love instead of being tied to your time for money job. So that's the ultimate goal. I believe it's very important for fathers and mothers to stay home with their kids to keep our families together, so that we kind of reduce these the pandemic of all these divorces. Because I know money fights is the number one biggest thing, and we could just prevent that. I think would be a huge step. And that's just all the surface. I mean, it solves a surface problem, but eventually we do want to solve the root problem. And we'll get to that much later. But right now, we just need to be fed food for now because we're starving, we're hungry. We need to pay our bills and figure out a way to get an extra 1,000 here to kind of make things a little easier for our families. All right, thank you so much.